teach you now. By now, you would have seen me do a couple of different tasks. I'm gonna teach you how to step by step how to do a task now. So in your specific project or section, you're gonna go to Add Task. You can click this button, or if I click one that's already been done, I can click the Enter button on my keyboard, Enter, and it'll give me space for a new task. So one of the tasks is gonna be schedule. So if I want to schedule John Jacobs on the Progression Show podcast. So the Progression Show podcast is what I have. What I'll do is I go to details, and then I want my assistant Jane Doe to complete it by Wednesday. So I'm gonna click on the 25th. Today's the 23rd, so I wanted it to be done by Wednesday. Then I want Jane Doe to schedule it, so I'm gonna assign it to Jane Doe, and then I'm gonna give Jane instructions. How am I gonna give her the instructions? I'm just gonna have a quick conversation with her virtually online. I'm gonna go on my computer, create a Loom. So what I'll do is I'll go to my computer, boom, press the Loom button right here, press it, boom. Hey Jane, it's Andy. I just want you to create call John, let him know that I want to do a podcast with him. I've been trying to get in touch with him on his phone. He's not picking up. Let him know I want to do a podcast with him, have him on the Progression Show. If he says yes, awesome, schedule it on my show for Wednesday or sometime later in the week, whenever he's available. Thank you so much, Jane. Talk to you soon. Just like that. Then I'm going to get the link. I'm going to get the link from Asana. From Loom. Instructions there. But whenever I create a task, you want to give as much resources as possible to your team members. You want to give as much resources as possible. So one of the tasks may be one of the resources I'll give is to schedule the call. So I'm gonna say give John Jacobs' phone number is 508-976-2323. 98623. So that's John Jacobs' phone number. And then his email is jjacobs@gmail.com. Okay? Now, let's say, for example, Jane wants to ask me a question. So Jane comes in and she'll see just this. She'll see exactly this right here. She'll see the same thing that you see. Okay? So when Jane comes into work, she says, oh, my name has been assigned a task. I'm going to click details. And then let's say she watches the Loom video. She clicks on it. It opens up. She watches the Loom video. And after she watches the Loom video, and say she calls John. Hey, John, my name is Jane. I'm calling from Andy Audate's office. And we use Andy Audate's office, even though it's virtual. We run a virtual office. So I'm calling from Andy Audate's office, and he told me that he wants to get on a podcast with you. Are you available today or sometime this week? When's the next time you're available? And John may say, oh, I'm available next week or next month. Okay, great. What day next week? I'm available on Monday. Perfect. So, John, I got you scheduled, and they'll go to my calendar, and then they'll say, John, I got you scheduled Monday at 12 p.m. Thank you so much. Then what can happen is Jane will come here, and she'll say, hey, and then she'll tag me at Andy Audate. I successfully booked the podcast on Monday at 3 p.m. on your calendar, and click comment. So I'll get a notification. Now, this is in Asana. Then what happens when I get a notification, I come to my phone and boop, it's right on my mobile device. Okay? It's right on my mobile device. So I downloaded the application on my mobile device, and boop, I'm able to get a notification, as well as I also got a notification in my email. So now my business is running. But now, say for example, I want to have this podcast to be done by like this certain task to be done by a certain time. I can come in here and I can click add due time, or I can click set to repeat. Okay, set to repeat. So I could add the due time. Let's say I want it done by 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I'll click done. Now it's Wednesday by 2 p.m. Let's say I want to repeat it. How often? Let's say I want this to repeat every, let's say 30 days, once a month. Click done. So whenever this is marked complete, 30 days from the time that it's marked complete, it will in 30 days it will create this task for her automatically, just by pressing the repeat. 30 days repeats 30 days after completion. Okay, and it'll put the same description and instructions right there for you, so that way Jane can come into work in 30 days. You're not thinking about it, it's out of your head, you're focused on different areas in your business, and Jane can successfully schedule a podcast for you with John again if necessary. So all these different tasks that you may have your assistant do, it's as simple as creating a Loom video, plugging in the Loom video, and telling them what you need to do, giving them the resources that they need, such as the phone numbers, email addresses, links. For example, if I wanted one of my virtual assistant if I go to my YouTube, if I go to youtube.com and I type in Andy Audate, and let's say I want a transcription video. So like this 30-minute podcast that I did.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way. Their customers, their prospects to them, versus going out and getting leads. How about you bring them to you? Getting in front of your customers, getting more leads.
So I can take and say, for example, I want a transcription where I want to turn this into a blog. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to create a task for that. So it's neither one of these. It's not a podcast. It's not client management. It's not in-person meeting. Let's say it's blog writing. Blog writing. Well, then I'm going to click add task, and I'm going to click transcribe this video to turn into a blog. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to create the instructions. Okay? And then I'm going to say video to transcribe. I need to give them all the tools that they need. So I don't want them to come to ask me questions and continue to ask me questions. If you're constantly being bombarded with different questions, that means you're not giving the right resources and you're not giving detailed information in your instructions. Then for the link for the instructions, it's gonna be the Loom video. Boom. So now I have the instructions done. I have the video to transcribe is done. But what is missing? So if I want them to transcribe, what is missing? I'm asking in this video, so let me show you how I would record this instructions in this Loom. Now this is an example of a Loom link of what it would look like, but let me show you what I would do. I have the link, I would have the link that is necessary to just transcribe. I'm gonna go onto my computer and I'm gonna press the Loom button right there. I'll click it, boop, and then I'll click it, boop. Once I click it, it's gonna make a beep sound. Once it makes a beep sound, that's when I start recording. I'm gonna say, hey Jane, quick question for you. Can you just do me a favor and transcribe this video into a blog for me? So I want you to take everything that I say word for word, and I want you to write it down for me, okay? Any questions, any comments, any concerns, please write it in the Asana task, please. But I want you to write it. We're going to turn that into a blog article for LinkedIn. And then I will press the stop button over here. Right here on the side, I will press the stop button and it will stop. But what do you think Jane's going to ask me? Jane's going to ask me, where do you want me to put it? Where do you want me to put the blog article? Where do you want me to write it? So I need to give her all the resources. So another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google Doc to write article. So I'm going to go to a Google Doc, and I'm going to create an empty Google Doc, and I'm going to say, write article right here. This is what a Google Doc link will look like. Write the article here. So now I have officially given Jane everything that is necessary. Besides what? I missed something. What did I miss? I didn't assign it to Jane yet because it hasn't been assigned, nor did I give her a due date. So I would come here, choose a due date. Let's have this done by Friday. And I want Jane to do this. Boom. Jane gets an email. It says, "Hey, you have a new task to be completed." Jane opens up the task. This is what she finds. She finds the instructions. She clicks on the instructions. It's a video of me saying what you just saw. Please write an article, transcribe an article word for word from YouTube, and we're gonna use it to turn into a blog. Then, after she listens to that video, then she goes in and sees the video to transcribe. She clicks on it. Boom. She clicks on it, opens it up.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
What it is, folks, Bradley back again. Are we back? Are we live? The odd date. Now, this young gentleman, 22 years old, making moves.
So then, now she sees the video that she's going to describe, and she's going to click on this link, and it's going to bring her to the article where she needs to write the link. So now she's all set. Then after she's complete, she's going to click Mark as complete. You'll get a notification. Why? Because if you look at this right here, see where it says collaborators? That right here means that you're a collaborator, so is Jane. That means you are both notified on anything that happens on this specific task. So if I want other people to be notified, I just gotta add them as a collaborator right there at the bottom. So Jane will be notified, of course, because she completed it. You will be notified. I'm the AA because when she completes it. So now I know she's done. So it's as simple as me just uploading it right to LinkedIn when it's ready. And this is how you write a good task. You want to be very detailed. You can also write different notes. Say, for example, I forgot to, in this specific example, say, for example, when I did the loom video, that I forgot to say, oh, shoot, I don't want you to transcribe what the other guy says. I just want what Andy says. Say I forgot that part. You can write a note. I can just say, hey, write only what Andy says. Do not write what the other person says. Boom, just like that. So I can write a note to Jane, and it's just that simple. So if there's any additional instructions, or if there's any additional instructions, I can write that note to Jane. And it's just that simple. I could also at Jane in a comment if I need to. If I need to update her, I can at Jane in a comment here. Click comment, she will be notified. And I can attach anything in here as well. So say, for example, for that specific task, say that I need to attach an audio. This is an audio from a promo that I did.
All it takes is a decision.
So I'm gonna click open, and then I'm gonna attach it right there, and right there, boom, it is on the task. I can attach different things that she may need, okay? Or if I needed to do something that's on a computer, instead, or transcribe a video that's on my computer, I can upload it here. Okay. So say for example, or even different pieces of like a different PDF. If she needed to do a PDF, I can attach that right here. Click open, boom, and it will upload for me. And that thing I attach, she can download right away for for her viewing. So anything that you need to attach, you can attach it right there. So this is how you write a. Oh, by the way, also right here is the link for the task. So if I get to a point, or you get to a point where you see yourself, you have hundreds of different tasks, or even you may not need hundreds. I know, like in my administration folder, I think we have like 8 tasks right now. Sometimes you don't need 100, but you may get to a point where you have a lot of tasks. You can give a specific link. So you see where this button is? If I press that button right here, it'll copy the link to my clipboard. So that way, if I give it to her and she just places it into her browser and press enter, it should open it up automatically right there. Boom. It brings you directly to just that task. So I can say, hey, I need you to handle this task, and then boom, just right there, she'll see all the work that's been done. Now the same thing can happen on my mobile device, where you can work on the project on your phone. So if for any reason I need to tell Jane to do something, I don't have to necessarily call her right away. Maybe she's sleeping, maybe I have an idea or a thought and she's sleeping. I can take my phone out and update Asana right away with a new task, give her all the resources that she needs, and then she can come into work when she's ready and complete the task at the time, at any time, as long as it is before the due date. That's one of the rules of my company, is complete the project before its due date. So it's just as simple to create a task, and I share with you all the different things that you can do that are very important in completing a task.